Alright, I'm going to try to fly this simulator using as much automation as possible. I'm trying to learn avionics better. So the TBM has a lot of automation. We're going to leave from KROC, Rochester. And we'll try to start it on the ramp for the hell of it. And then we'll put the flight plan in when we get in the airplane. So I don't know this airplane as far as the checklists, the V speeds. I just kind of wing it. So anybody knows the checklist, the V speeds, anything I need to do better starting it, and all the checklist stuff, please comment below. And we got live weather. And we will use ATC because people who don't use ATC because it's annoying, you're not getting. Try it in real life, see how annoying it is. You're not really learning much without it because it's a big part of flying. Alright, so to start it, we're gonna unfeather the props. Throttle's off. Inertial separator we want on to prevent the gunk from going in the engines. Flaps good, throttle neutral, fuel set. We want the nav light on before you start any airplane. Not the nav, I mean the beacon light. So we're gonna put the battery on, pretend we don't have any ground source. And need a little bit of light here. I'm gonna put the ignition on. And then put the conditional lever up and hold this starter up for a few seconds. Let it go, and once we get ignition, we can turn the rest of the stuff off. Alright, looks like we have liftoff. So let's go back up there. And we get our generator on. Starter's off. Ignition auto in case it deflames. We'll put everything on auto. Since we're automating everything. Trims on auto. We can put the taxi light on. We're gonna taxi soon. And none of this stuff we need. This we can put off since it's not gonna move on idle. Now we can put our flight plan in. And we're leaving from KROC. And we'll go to Erie PA. Rochester, New York, Erie PA. And we'll put our approach in here, even though you normally wouldn't do this in real life. To make it easy, I'll use the RNAV. We'll be going to the west, so that's probably the most direct, is the 2-4. See what else they got. Visuals. Direct 2-4. I don't know where these waypoints are. Let's see if it shows me. Oops. I mean, the initial approach fixes. Here we go. Radkoi. It's not telling me. Gonna load it. Alright, Radkoi goes in bit north. Then south. Yeah, let's try. Let's try a different IAF. Dumby. We'll just go with that and fly it. Normally you wait for ATC to give you an approach when you're flying. Over here I like to use my Navcom to enter these in. So for ground we can use COM2. And we'll use COM1 because I don't know how to activate COM2. Yep. 1217X first, so that's the main thing. Request taxi depart.
Rochester Ground Docker Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha. Request taxi for takeoff departing straight out.
We could get our taxi diagram here. November Hotel Alpha November Hotel Lima is our taxi instructions. However, whenever I try to use these instructions, it doesn't work here. They don't know it seems to be screwed up in Microsoft. Does anybody else have that problem with the taxiway instructions and real taxiway in the game is not correct? Then you just get lost.
Taxi hold short runway 28 via taxiway Alpha.
So I'll just make my way to 28, which is way down the end of here. And we'll put the rest of the stuff in down there. So using this diagram here, I'm going to taxi down, and I'm going to look at my compass to get orientated. That's why I'm going the opposite of 28. No, we're not. Where's 28? That's the other runway. Down there. So we're paralleling. Looks like a runway 5, judging by the compass here. So that runway's to our left. This wouldn't be a good taxi technique in real life. Just trying to get myself down here. Normally you want to be right on the line. You're not going more than 15, 20 miles an hour. Knots. So too fast and not accurate. So we would most likely back taxi. Or we would take this left here to get over and use the full runway in real life. Alright, we're gonna cross this. So put the strobe on. Actually, why don't I just take off right here? If this is 2.8. No. This is the opposite of 2.8. That's the technique for figuring out runways plus 2 minus 2. I'll say this is runway 10. I'm going to back taxi here. Normally I'd be on the taxiway. I'd be definitely losing my license to do this in real life. Unless the tower told me to. I don't see why they would. Tower, get to the end of the runway, and we'll go to the whole chart for the heck of it. Alright, that's the whole short line with the double line, and now we're gonna get all set up to take off. We'll see what this warning is down here. Oh no, so no ice protection. So we can put this ice protection on. Here. Windshield, we don't need the prop yet. This is on. We can get our autopilot configured as long as it's not on. Make sure you can't take off with an autopilot on it. You could die from that. Vertical speed, I'd say we get to like 15, 17-ish. I don't know the TBM numbers. And then we want to get our altitude up to our cruise altitude, or what the ATC tells us our initial altitude is going to be. Which this really sucks in here. It takes a long time to get the altitude. Where you want to be. We'll just go 10. We're going to the west. Even numbers. So when you're flying to the west, you want 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, etc. So we'll go 10. It's not too long. Yeah, we'll go 12. Why not? Get a little better time. Higher you go, you get better ground speed until it gets too high. Each plane has its own sweet spot. Alright, so when we take off, or when we hit the takeoff, we climb up 5 to 800, hit the autopilot, and then that's gonna get us on track and climbing the right rates. I'm not gonna use any flaps to take off. I don't think we need it. Any TBM people out there know if we need it. Basically, strobe lights, everything on, right? Take off from here, except for prop ice and wings ice. You can see we will be going into IMC here. And why can't I request takeoff? Oh, here we go. Takeoff. I don't know why it says VFR.
Rochester Tower Daughter Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha ready at runway 2
choose
straight out departure.
IFR when I was doing the configuration of the flight before we get in the plane. So normally I'd get, I'd call for
Clear for takeoff runway 28 Daughter Golf Sierra Alpha.
I'd call for IFR clearance, then they give me the initial altitude, the frequencies, and the transponder code and all that stuff. They didn't tell us how high to climb. So confirm runway 28. Runway confirm, check the approach over here. Make sure nobody's coming. And just go. So when you are flying a turboprop, you don't want to over torque it. Be careful not to over torque it, which they can do. I'm gonna get myself on the center line. And pull back. We're going plenty fast. My tripod's in the way of the yoke. Can barely pull back. I don't know why it says give me that. Okay, tap the brakes, gear up. And flaps are already up. And can hit the autopilot button. Let the autopilot take the control, and you can see it's too low to be turning. Well, I guess you can turn here. And that's pretty low too. And is it climbing where we told it to 1700? Looks like it is climbing. It's turning to our heading, which is that. And let's zoom out on this map. So it's plane's trying to reach this line and then orientate itself with that line, which corresponds to this line on your compass. My ATC is not working too good anymore. Alright, so we're gonna leave this on. We can take off our landing and taxi lights. What do I do? Pulse, might as well leave it on. Lamps on, start station on, and these are off. Everything else is on auto over here, so we don't have to do the rest of the takeoff checklist that I know of. And now you see we're climbing 1700. We're gonna go level out at 12,000 feet. Climbing 1700, level off 12,000. And they're talking to me.
Rochester Tower, November Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf
Alright,
Sierra.
they give us permission to change frequency, which is they tell you on a VFR flight. To approach, request flight following.
Approach Dover Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha is type Dover TBM, 97 miles southwest of Rochester, 4,600 feet. Request flight following. Dover Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha approach. 7751.
7751. Let's try it in here. Zip, zip, up, enter. That's my zero. Contract. Alright, so we definitely shouldn't be on a VFR flight in IMC, but that's what we're doing in a fake world. Alright, we're doing 123.7.
Entry decimal 7, Dover Golf Sierra Alpha.
Hit transfer button. And contact them.
Dover Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha 7,000 feet.
So flight following is just giving you radar contract, keep you away from radar contact. torque on the throttles, as long as we're not going over red line, to keep us going as fast as possible, efficient as possible. Alright, so to monitor count 2, we hit that 2 button. Now we're listening on 1, 2, and 5. That's in case the main frequency has a problem. The ATC will talk to us on count 2. Let's go to Cleveland Center. 125875. Transfer. You can either hit enter and transfer it here. See it? No, I tuned it. Oh, I didn't acknowledge it. Go back. I gotta acknowledge it. I tell them, hey, I got your message and I'm complying. So we'll go to back to Cleveland Center by hitting that, reverses it, and I know I reverse it, contact Cleveland Center.
Cleveland Center, Dover, Alpha Sierra, X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha, 11,400 feet.
11,400, so it's going to level out at 12,000. We got on top of the clouds here, you can see. We'll try our request for IFR clearance, make it legal. Ready to copy. IFR to Erie. That's normally what we should have done on the ground. Squawk source on fire. We already have our squawk code. Input. Just then we read it back. It always says as filed. It never does the full waypoints that you normally would. To Dumpy. Not sure what altitude. Turn in 250. Pretty close. Resume navigation. Set maintain 10,000. They want us at 10,000.
Turn left heading 250. Resume navigation. Descend.
Which I can request increasing again to 12,000, 2,000 higher. Altitude increase by 2,000 feet.
Cleveland Center, Dover, Golf Sierra Alpha. Request 12,000 feet.
Request to tell us that. I mean, you can do this in real life. Request various altitudes. They can tell you no. Pretty normal in real life. You hear all these transmissions from ATC to other pilots, and it is distracting. That's why you need to do this in the game. Learn to shut that ATC off in your mind when you're trying to do stuff and it's for somebody else, and you get used to hearing your call sign and responding when it's you, and not responding when it's not you, and not letting it get in the way of what you're trying to do. Traffic 9 o'clock, 3 miles, so that's south, 3 miles, so over here somewhere. 9 o'clock, 3 miles, higher up. I don't see him here, so I don't see traffic. Not in sight, hopefully he sees me. Doesn't have me. Traffic not in sight. I'm going to go on Sky Vector and look at what the altitude of Dumpy is, and then I can program it in here and we can get our VNV going. And then we're trying to do automation, so the VNV is automated descents to waypoints. So Sky Vector. Waypoint is Dumpy. us at 5,000 will be legal. Save it. We want to see our altitudes filled out for our VNV. Alright, so since we're at our cruising altitude, we can enable VNV here. That'll give us a V right here. So when you take that off, the V goes away. We want the VNV on. But it's not going to descend us if we have the altitude set to 12,000. It's going to override it, thinking we want to stay at 12,000. We want it to automatically descend. So we want to turn this all the way down to 0 because we're going to automate the descent to the approach, and the approach on the autopilot will take over at the initial approach fix and descend us all the way to our minimums. We won't have to hand fly at all. Okay, we got our altitude at 0, so now we should have a top of descent already in here since we have our altitudes filled out. So if we go to VNV and the GPS, yeah, we have a top of descent in 12 minutes. So in 12 minutes time, our GPS in autopilot will start descending us at the right approach to reach Dumby right at 5,000 feet. We're just above this layer at 12,000. We were at 9,000. We'd probably be inside this layer. So not getting nearly as good of a view. So right now we just have to wait 12 minutes for anything to happen, and we're going to monitor our engine gauges, keep our speed up as fast as we want to go without overheating on the temperature or too much torque. So we get to our passengers where we're going as quick as possible, less cost to them. We can actually take this inertial separator off. Now we're above. Actually, we got some clouds coming up. We might hit. If we were completely outside of clouds, take this off, you get an extra 2, 3, 4, or 5 knots. This allows the chunk to pass through your engine and not come up your engines. Not damage your engine with any debris that might be in the clouds or ice. Also on the ground. So we'll leave it on for safety. Set this, I think this, they always have this 2992 for standard day on our altimeter. Another thing we can do is check our fuel. In here, under utilities, fuel planning. Here's where I don't know the specifics of this airplane, how much fuel it takes, fuel flow, speeds. So if we wanted to go to our flight plan, fuel flow, I'm going to guess this burns 100 gallons per hour. Just a guess. Government Gulf, they wanted me to go to 1252. That's too far approach. To Johnley. We're not going to Johnley. We'll ignore that for a bit while we do our fuel. What happened to this? It's not working. Fuel on board. Let's guess we have 250 gallons. Again, I have no idea what this carries. So you see the fuel dropping, the fuel flows 100 an hour, and our ground speed is, we'll just guess 250. Alright, so this is somewhat realistic. Fuel required to Erie, 63.7 gallons. Fuel at Erie level, 185 gallons. And we'll have hour and 50 minutes reserve when we get to Erie, so that's good. We're not going to run out of gas. If we wanted, we could go 621 miles. So we're good on fuel. And we want to change this to Dumby. Press this approach.
November Sierra Alpha, line board at runway 24, approach dummy transition.
Let's see what he says. Alright, now we're on board with ATC. He cleared us to Dumby, and he liked our approach request, RNF24. This is something you would do in real life. You could always request another approach. Got stepped down by Mark. It's not unusual. Crest a different approach, crest a different altitude, crest different waypoints. You can change these along your route while you're flying. And then now it's our approach.
Expect board at runway 24, approach via dummy transition. Clear to dummy November Sierra Alpha.
Alright, so our time to top of descent, right here, top of descent, 4 minutes, 58 seconds. Before she starts descending us automatically. I don't know if we'll need any ice protection when we go down through this layer. It looks fairly thin, you can see the ground here. Standard. So our barrel went to standard. I must have right click that. See here. Click on the barrel. Barometer. Goes to standard. You'd use standard day above 18,000 feet. Everybody's goes to standard, but we're not above 18,000 feet. So we want to put it at 30001. Us at 3,200, but I don't want to be at 3,200 because I'm trying to use the VNV. We still got 3 minutes, so he might, ATC might get upset that we're not listening to him on our altitude. But they definitely would in real life, so you can request to remain higher for longer, but they're not allowing it in the game. So normally I'd ask to remain higher, but I can coordinate this altitude at Dumby with this 3,200 even what he said instead of 500. So now our Dumby's at 3,200. And that brought our top of descent down to 1 minute and 9 seconds. See, he's starting to yell at me to descend. And I'm going to ask him for a vector just to keep him occupied and not yell at us for the descent while we're waiting for the VNV to kick in. You can see it starting to kick in with this sideways V. I forget what you call it.
Continue to dummy, turning and following heading 245, Dover Golf Sierra Alpha.
He wants me at 245, but it's at 248. So their heading and our heading is a little bit off. But I'm in the airplane and he's on the ground. So I'm going to go with our heading and what our GPS tells us. Alright. See the top of descent is at 765. It's lining up with this VNV. So when this gets here, it's already descending us down. Alright, top of descent zeroed out right here, and it's taking us down at about 1,200 feet. You see our descent happening. And our speed will going up because now we're essentially going down a hill while you're descending the hill we made. It's like we're speeding up like you would speed up on anything. Going down a hill. My descent. I'm expediting my descent, so now we can't see anything because we're descending. So the computer inside of here picked 1350 as our descent. I believe that's a 3-degree glide slope. Yep, it says right here 3 degrees flight path angle. So we end up at Dumby at 3,200 feet. Descend at 3,002. They could give us an altimeter. 299. Change our altimeter. Continue to Dumby. And we got 21 more miles. See the miles slowly going down as we're speeding through the air. 245 knots. Engine instruments still looking good. We're not overheating. We're not over-torquing. But we are speeding closer to our probable or dangerous speeds. But we're still in the green, so we're still safe. And we want to get to Erie for whatever reason. So we might as well go as fast as we can, as long as we're safe, right? And as long as ATC doesn't mind that we're going this fast. And it's really thinning out here. So we could probably do even a visual approach if we wanted. But we're on automation today. And we're letting the computer do it. Check what this approach looks like. Well, I got time here, and it's doing a funny curve. So I don't see any reason to go to Dumby and then curve over. We can go direct to Jean Lee. So let's see if we can go direct to Jean Lee. Direct. for Jean-Lee, we got Def Joe Yuxi down to runway 24. I don't know what that is. Touchdown elevation according to your Skylighter is 730. So I can put 730 in here. It's not letting me. So at 1600 at Yuxi. Down to 730 landing. Our minimums are at 942 on this approach. 1210. Oops. I did that too fast. I want to acknowledge that first. Alright. We're still going. Our speed isn't overspeeding still. At Jean-Lee, we want to be 3,200. Here's our nav. We must have. Not sure why the nav went up. Because we changed the direct to Jean-Lee. Let's contact approach. 4,900 descending 3,200. Use the word 3,200. You want to say 3,200. Altimeter 3003. Everything's still looking good. We'll get ready to do our pre-approach checklist in a minute. Got our lights on. Fuel pump doesn't need to go on. Inertial separator needs to be on. It's already on. So we can do that now. Oops. Alright, I'm going to put on our taxi lights, everything on. This stuff is all automated and displayed. Yes, I heard you.
Descend and maintain 2,400 feet Dr. Golf Sierra Alpha.
Alright, so it's not yet to where it wants us to descend. We have 43 seconds, so let's see if we can let her wait 43 seconds till this descends us automatically. It is turning to, since we're hitting Jean-Lee, it's turning to our next waypoint, which is Def Joe, which is on runway heading 244. We're running 244, so we're on our final course to landing. And the plane will descend us down. We probably need to slow down. I'm going to pull out this throttle. You can see the torque. Watch when I pull this throttle out. Drop. We're going way too fast to land. Too fast for flaps. Too fast for gear. I don't know what the flap speed in this airplane is. If anybody knows, please let me know. Also, gear speed. Some planes, they want flaps first, then gear. Other planes want gear first, then flaps. I'm going to assume this is flaps first, then gear. And you can see the runway up here. I don't know if you can see that. Put one notch of flaps in. And the airplane should adjust my trim accordingly. You can see this moving a little bit once I put flaps in, and the speed will go down. Zoom this in as we get closer. Our speed's down. Now I'm going to drop the gear. You can see the gear is in transit. Alright, I can contact tower because I'm inbound on the approach.
Tower 118.1 Dr. Golf Sierra Alpha.
I forgot to put the arm the approach right here. Approach arm. 209er cleared our approach. So we're cleared for the approach. We're not yet cleared to land yet. Normally the approach would have cleared to approach, not the tower.
Runway 24, Delta Golf Sierra Alpha.
We forgot to listen to ATIS. Alright, cleared to land. He did clear some land. We can listen to ATIS real quick. Oops. Information Charlie. So we got winds. Visibility, we got visibility, we can see it anyways. Got our altimeter. Temperature 2.9 on ID. Alright, let's go too far. Alright, we already know all that. We got information Charlie, we can tell the tower if we want it. Okay, 500. We didn't set up our minimums, but we're getting, oh shoot, way too fast. Get the rest of the flaps in. Gears down, 3 greens. Let's take this power out. We gotta go slower. We're way too fast. We probably want to be at 100, I guess. That's my guess on this aircraft for 100 speed, 100 knots landing. Alright, we're getting ourselves. We don't take power all the way out. Oops, now we're too slow. Alright, we got full flaps. Gears down. Autopilot still on. We can take off our autopilot. Now, autopilot's off. Now we're in flying, and I'll just use the trim to flare us. Oh, way too short. Get back on our center line. And now we can pull power back and land it. Floating a little bit. Okay, reverse on, props full forward. Pretty sloppy. Exit runway when able. That's what I'm doing. Okay, you want to get all the way past that one short line and then do your after landing checklist. And he wants us to go to ground. Got it. So these stay on. This stuff can come off. We don't need a strobe light. We don't need that. Flaps can come up. Pulse will leave nav. Strobe is off. Taxi landing. This is off. We don't need that. And trim. Normally we'd set the trim back to neutral. I can't tell on this thing where neutral is. So let's go. And then we'll talk to ground while we're moving. I don't know where the FBO is here, dude. Maybe straight ahead to the right. Is that the FBO? If I can taxi straight. Let's taxi to parking.
Erie ground Dover Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha request taxi to parking.
I think it's must be very windy. That's why I can't like. I never go by the taxi instructions in the game because it's never correct. I don't know why.
Taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway cross runway 20 Charlie Dover Golf Sierra Alpha.
Call this our parking spot. How about that? Use the jetway. Alright, so we can put our parking brake on here. Do our jump down checklist. We don't need her anymore, or we don't need him anymore. So how do you shut down this thing? That stays on. Parking brake is on. So that gives you a little enunciation on that. Pull off our, I have a yoke here, I'm pulling off the condition levers. And that should shut the engine off. Turn the avionics off. The avionics automatically come on with this airplane. There is no avionics. I'm also going to feather my props here. If I can feather it. Oh, they're feathered on the yoke. And then we'll shut the battery off here with this crash bar. Starter off and ignition off. BP off. Fuel selector. I think that's all we need to do. And just feather. The props are feathered. Unlock the door and get the hell out of here. Go take a piss.